Happy Monday. Hooray. That's how excited I am. I'm knocking shit over. I have so much that I'm looking forward to this week. And I'm excited to share parts of it with you guys as it happens. I have a whole list of certain things to research for the housing issue. I feel like I've made some headway with reading laws, but I just want to start the comparison, and I'm probably going to ask like the Google to help me in the comparison. But I think I'm going to stream that in TikTok. That way, if anybody is following along, if they want to add, they can add while I go. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I've been wanting to do that, and it's just been busy, busy and good busy, but busy. So today on Monday, the point, the purpose, the energetic focus is my mindset. Where am I going in my mind? Do I want to go there? And wait for aligned action. Reach for aligned action. And what that means is being with myself quietly in my mind, usually in the morning, and looking at what I'm going to do this week, how I feel positioned with those feelings, and how I'm expecting myself to show up and land. And then the things that I get to do in the middle to help me bring more and more energy, more and more alignment, more and more momentum for fruition. As much as some of the work that I share is a very feeling experience, there are very practical, logical steps that we can take to help us learn this as we are gaining the understanding. The same way that you went to school and you learned different things. I know for me, and this may not apply to everyone, there will be times I'm in class learning different parts and I don't connect the dots for quite a while. I know that the way that I learn is not the way that a lot of people learn, so I get that. But there were times when I would be in class and I'm hearing this, I'm hearing that, and I'm hearing that. But finally, when that one nugget sort of pulls it all together, does it then make sense for me? And I think that from my experience, from my teaching, from my learning, having these practical steps, knowing what to expect, knowing how to measure yourself inside with what you're wanting to output, and knowing what to do if it's not matching. So sometimes, mostly now, almost always, when I'm moving through a situation, I move with my emotional self first. I trust that, but I've tuned that. In the beginning, that was not true. My emotional system, my emotional body was crapped. It was not well, and it wasn't going to be able to perform for me as the director of my flow. I had to let action take over so that I could overcome where I was, and then I was able to be more emotionally led. And even that can sound confusing, but the thing is, we're wanting to reach for more and more intuitive living, more and more trusting and knowing, letting ourselves go, letting ourselves receive. A lot of times in our life, we aren't understanding that, or we aren't taught that or given that idea, and we are almost always responding to what's already happening, meaning we're repeating. Maybe it's with a different person, maybe it's in a different job, maybe it's in a different physicality, but we're repeating, and only being in your body, in your mind, you can notice that and know that about yourself. No one, and maybe others can too, but none of this is relevant to another when it comes to you and you. This is all going to be a self-tuning, self-led, self-allowing, self-speeding, like you are the director. And once you get to realize you have so much control over the stage, over the background, the cast, and the outcome, the storyline, you have those sort of controls, but then you do get to sit back and watch the show. And this is when you start tuning yourself to wanting what you actually want, knowing that you're going to be able to see it happen, and letting yourself sit there and have it delivered. And that's the receiving that people talk about. That's the flow state, is knowing that even if that looks like a rocky road or a, one of those rapids where it's like, whoa, hold on, I know I'm going to be okay. I know that if I'm seeing that, I'm ready to see that. So I'm just going to do what I know, and I'm going to listen to myself, and I'm going to succeed. I'm going to see what's on the other side of this. All of this is something that you can start to tune with practical steps, and then let yourself get the evidence in your real life with your real circumstances. And then you can let yourself feel, because you will trust it. In the beginning of this, for me, I didn't trust this. I didn't believe this. I have said it 1,000 times. This has been going on for 10 years, and I'll say it 1,000 more. I had to debunk all of this because I thought all of it was not true. I thought as long as I was living in this life, if any of that could have been true, wouldn't I have known that by now? Like, wouldn't everybody know that? Like, to me, that just felt logical. So logical, it kept me in a state of, like, not letting myself go to the well-being. It was so funny, not funny. After, like, my rock bottom, where I didn't want to participate anymore, I still wouldn't call it healing. I still felt uncomfortable with the word recovery, And I just was so upside down with my energy. And no matter where you are, how far you've come, how long you've lived, what story you've been telling, what life you've been living, you can get into your mind. You can change the way that you think. And then you can let yourself, hey, good morning. You can let yourself feel differently. You can let yourself be led through your mind, through your thought forms, looking and making out new neural pathways, drawing, magnetizing, conjuring new components, new people, new situations, because they're going to match the new reality that you are summoning, you are holding space for. You get to manifest, and you're doing it all the time. You can do it on purpose. You can start any moment. Like right now. All right, I'm going to get to it. And in the meantime, if you have any questions for me about this or anything that I share ever, please feel free to reach out. In addition to coaching, which is my favorite place to work, it gives us more time. I do offer sessions. So sometimes you already know all of this. You already get it. You just want some practical tools. You want somebody to help soothe all this and give you a little direction. And I have sessions for that from 30 minutes to an hour. And of course, anytime we're inside of that container and you're realizing that you do want more, we can just roll that in. I like to make it as easy as possible for people to understand this the same way that I eventually let myself understand this. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great Monday. Until then, bye for now.